This is Eligor, aka Channa 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 from the band Luciferianometh from Ratmalana, Sri Lanka, and you're listening to Channa Channa Channa.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of my podcast. We have a special guest today joining all the way from Sri Lanka. We have Eligor of Luciferianometh. Hi, Eligor.
What's up, guys? It's really nice to see you guys. I mean, hear you guys.
how,
so,
are you,
uh,
how are you doing?
well, can't say I'm not okay, but managing, surviving. These are rough days, but this interview is really making it all good, really positive.
How is the situation in Sri Lanka these days?
Ah, people are freaking out because of the past and all. They still live in the past. They fear that they'll also get this virus and plague. Well, but most people are not really thinking much of it, but probably the very rich ones and the old ones, old people. I'm not saying in a respectful way. They fear a little bit, because they have a lot to lose, I guess. Well, it's really, really, can say really shit, man. There's nothing good here. But, you know, the sun is good.
Mm.
It's really nice if you want to have, like, I hear in Germany and all, they freeze to death or something like that. But here it's all nice. But, you know, you get burned up to death here also. so,
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's really cool. I love this land. Sri Lanka is one of best climates and best land. I can't say much for the government and some people. You know, the
Right.
country is great, man.
I want to ask you that uh, I was also surprised that when I saw your post on the internet and then your music, that there is actually this type of music coming out of Sri Lanka. How is the reaction from the people and also from the fellow metalheads? Because I think people do listen to metal in Sri
Oh,
Lanka, but they're still not into the all black metal and brutal scene, right?
yeah, that's a really good question, brother. The thing is, there are metalheads here in Sri Lanka, but they have not truly they know about the whole metal scene and all, but for the black metal, it's it's not much very well understood by some. Some do, but not most of them. I didn't mean to disrespect anyone. They are all great metalheads and all, and it's not about the violence and hating people or taking revenge out of your ex-girlfriends and all that shit, right?
Right.
Like, yeah, you see this. There's this genre called depressive black metal, right?
Mm.
So uh, that's really the thing that kills some metalheads, I think. I know this guy who jumped to his this, what do you call, macam linder muka tu kian ni mo? Uh,
Well,
yeah, yeah, well, yeah. So that's because he was listening to depressive black metal, and the whole town was talking about this, like, oh, this guy's listening to satanic music, and he jumped and he killed himself. Satan possessed him, and that's really not good to the image of black metal. But it was most because of his own personal life and all. And this depressive black metal is really not a suitable genre for people who are really depressive. I mean, who can't really come up to that mental state and all.
right.
Well, depressive in it. We do talk about the melancholy and the sorrow and all of that. It's all in black metal, but not just the solitude or the suicide, or not totally agreeing on that, because there's really positive here. a chance to know yourself well,
Mm.
behave yourself, because you start to fear your own actions. Normally, we can say that every human make choices that are good and bad. That's the natural way. But when if you get into Satanism and all in the correct way, you can see that what are the consequences that are going to come to your own actions. Now, this is really good. It's like really positive, man. But most people, I don't know, some people I have talked with and all that about black metal, the metalheads in Sri Lanka. They are all about this violence and terrorist and just trying to make race wars here, man. We don't have a race war from black metal, right?
Right, right.
We sure could just explain about it, take the beauty of it, but not make a thing out of it because that's really not the way, man. Right? The way I see, I don't know. Maybe it's about violence.
Yeah, but what I realize is started listening to a lot of black metal is that it's you kind of start discovering yourself, so exploring yourself and your mind, which normally you wouldn't touch in normal ways. Although talking about this violence and Satanism and everything, I think there's a misunderstanding because the bands who comes from Norwegian and Swedish, where they're they're bloody Vikings and they have their own culture, and most of the time this thing about especially this conflicts with the Christianity, right? So what these people are
Yeah.
experiencing is Christianity basically invaded that country and then took over that culture and the way
Oh,
of life. So I feel that the bands are actually fighting sort of a revolution against that tyranny. So that is the real meaning.
of
It's
course,
not
man.
just simply people hating Christians or anything. It's just that it can happen in any
It
country,
can be.
right? That foreign culture will
Yeah,
come
it's
in and
it has.
overtake you.
Yeah, that's really great, man. That was really awesome because the same thing happened to Sri Lanka in a way because the Inquisition. We had like I think few Inquisitions here. All the tortures and all the torments if you don't choose God to be your uh, create and be your religion. If you're a Buddhist in that time of era where the British was uh, has taken over this land and all, you get like sliced into half. You get your fingers cut. Like it's all here still, man. But
Right.
not in that way. They have managed to come across a way to make it happen silently. They say we have independence. We have this national anthem in Sri Lanka, Namo Namo Mata. Yeah, the original composer. Shit, I can't remember his name. Maybe but just after his first show, I was so surprised to see this. He committed suicide,
Yeah, I
and
heard that.
that show was the first. Yeah, so I wonder why. But
Yeah.
we still have the courtrooms and all the laws of the British and all. And apart from that, we have some major Indian influence from religious sites. You go to a Buddhist temple, then over on the side you can see a little bit of Hindu tradition being
Hmm.
added there, maybe for the color of the viewer.
So
But
yeah, so Eligo, can you tell me a little bit about your childhood? How did you get into music, and eventually how did you discover the black metal?
of course, that's really good because as a child, I had the best parents. They are really great, really understanding, and they both taught me two important things. My father was the one who made me realize that when you say this Buddhist chanting hymns and all, you just people normally say like, "Udan sananga chama." My father, he's a drunk, but he's true to his passion and art and soul. He was like, no, you bloody fucker, that's not the way. He showed me the proper way of chanting that, you know, that I can't do it over here because it's not good. But there's a proper way. Most people are like going like, like express train on those hymns, but that's not the thing. It's not that you have to say that hymn and it will bless you. It's that you getting that meditative state, saying those words and hearing them by your own voice in a way that I see. So he was the first one to, actually, maybe he was the first one to teach me how to chant, maybe scream even. I
Mm.
don't know. I feel it's him. Yeah, it's that simple lesson that got me there. And my mother, she's a pianist. She's still here with me, and she was the greatest support. Even though she's a Christian herself, she never doubted me influencing on Satanism and black metal. She always knew it was weird because she never thought that when she gave me my first guitar lessons. She was the one who taught me my first three chords and all. She never thought that I would be screaming like this and
Uh,
heavy distortion. They don't know about that music. They haven't seen that, but she never doubted me. She never hold me back. She was always supportive, man. So that's really positive from what I have seen from the rest of the metalheads who are musicians. That their mothers and all, they are freaked out by it, but maybe they are not freaked out by the music. They are freaked out by the person, right?
mm.
I don't know, man. But she's still supportive, and uh, I mean, I can't say that I did all this by myself, because apart from my father, he also he left in 2012. He had a very talent in drinking alcohol. So, but he was a really great man, and may he rest in peace. But my mother, she's still here with me, and I'm taking care of her and all. And she's always helping me with this stuff, man. Even though it's black metal, maybe that's one reason I get this motivation and all, because that support is really, really, when it's coming from your mother, man, it's like, you know,
Mm.
that's ultimate power. Like, yeah. So that's my childhood. I would like to go into more depths, but I don't think it's necessary. But
Mm.
that covers things. And so as a child, we were never stable on one house. Okay, so we are going over there, we are going over there, we are going over here. It's not stable. One school, another school, not going to school, staying at another one's place, all because of the cruel society that most uh, people take advantage from the kind-hearted,
Mm.
and the kind-hearted just don't defend themselves because they also think they are being kind to another one who is just like them. But no, it's really different, because I believe that Sri Lanka, we are um, there are multi races here, Islam, uh, Lansi, Lansi again. uh, we got Burger, Tamil, then we got, yeah. So there are a lot of mixers in the races. I think mostly from India. There are a lot of, in the olden days, even the first ever invasion to happen on Sri Lanka was uh, our mother Kuweni, where she fell in love with Vijay,
Mm.
who came from Tambamani from India. So that was an invasion itself, right? So from that point, maybe there are not only Sri Lankans here, but there are many outside races as well, which we really say they are truly one of us. I won't say that they are rather than, but that bloodline and the Sri Lankan bloodline is two of a kind. And the Sri Lankan bloodline, I mostly think uh, they always feel like everything is gonna happen good and very kind, because they like they light the candles and all to these Buddha statues and all, and they pray. They think everything will be fine and all, but there is a lot of unseen things happening, which you can really see when you meditate and just think about it with your third eye. You can see that view, because I'll go back to that further before when I said
Right. But so I
we
like
can
to
find
understand. So what's how did you get into the metal? So like you remember what you listen first? What are the bands you got into metal, and
yeah.
then
Oh man, it was like I never liked music. The ones I heard, it was I was like 12 years old. So
mm,
one day, all of a sudden, Linkin Park comes with this Indian.
right?
Now that's where what I was like, oh, what is that feeling? I just feel it so much, but I was not able to, find any CDs, or I was at my uncles and aunts' house those days because of some family problems and all, and I was not allowed to use the internet
Mm,
or anything. They just had that satellite TV, which got me that MTV channel, or yeah, MTV channel, where they got me Linky Park in the end. But
yeah.
it's really hard because they not always play the same thing, right? Sometimes I like wait for weeks, sometimes days. I don't know when it's going to be played. So one day I skipped school. on, on the school time, I skipped from school, went to this internet cafe, then asked them to give me a CD of Linkin Park. They give me some illegal downloaded. It's fine, but
Mm,
uh, I wouldn't have done it if I knew it like this now. But there, I had every album of Linkin Park, and I was always listening to it. Man, it was like an addiction. Uh, and I was 12 years old. Then, when I was talking about with my friends at school, there's band called Linkin Park. They're like, no, that's not good, man. Linkin Park is like, the baby style. You should listen to like a Slipknot and uh,
right.
this one, yeah. So Slipknot, and there's this other genre called people are ripping out the Bibles and talking against with Christ and all. I was like, what? You can do that. So the first thing that popped into my mind was they also speak against Buddhism. Are they anti-Buddhism, like you say? They do that, but no, nowhere to be found at all. I don't know. Maybe there are, but I don't think anywhere in Satanism or black metal much, or like literally anything is written about it. That's how powerful that force is.
Mm,
It's so true, true to his yeah, his presence. So that's how I learned about black metal. Then we went to Bullet for Valentine. That was heavy metal band. So I was like 15, seeing Matthew Tuck, headbang and play that uh, Jackson V guitar. So I was also thinking, imagining and playing, and it was not easy when
mm,
I got the guitar. It was Bullet for Valentine that got me to my first steps. Uh, I used to practice with the guitar chord system. I mean, sorry, guitar tab system. The numeric system, not like the chords and all, not the theory, but it's in maths. You get the fret number and the string number. It's so easy, but practice, and they also have these guided videos to play some of their solos, and you see these covers people are playing, and I didn't even have distortion, man. That was the main deal. I got involved with this friend of mine, which is I have totally casted away because not very good influences. So he was able to give me some distortion in a software.
mm,
So I was like, wow, this is the best thing ever happened to me, man. I love you so much. You're my best friend. Distortion, you gave me that. I give you my life. So he really took my life and took a lot of unnecessary advantages because of my age. He's a little bit more mature than me. So this is where I learned to find mayhem. Mayhem, yeah.
right.
Mayhem, he tells me about this the story of our dead from Freezing Moon. Totally, he made up another story rather than the original one. So even though I could not still listen to them, blast beats were not understood in my mind, but some of Slipknot and all, you can kind of enjoy it. I don't know why, but when you go to the death metal and black metal, some places you just don't understand and it's not enjoyable to hear listen at all.
Mm.
But that's because I really didn't know what blast beats were, how they are played, what kind of rhythm is going on there. But on my guitars and all, I was all the way there from influences and lessons from Sinister Gates, from A7X, which is really, really, I have to say, really, I'm really thankful for them. Matthew Truck, Sinister Gates, all of even Dimebag Darrell from Pantera, man. Really, they are like my fathers who taught me the guitar. Just covering their solos and trying to play what they play. That got me all what I need, the palm muting, the shredding, all of that. That's so it all came from heavy metal to new metal to thrash metal. Then you wait a little bit thinking what's black metal. Then you suddenly feel something because you listen to it over and over. You understand the patterns of that blast beats and all that. So now what you don't understand is what the lyrics say. What are they talking about? What is this? What is this? And but I can understand the music, but what's this? Why am I liking it so much? So I know that black metal is mainly coming from Satanism. That's the main symbol, right? It's the whole reason this genre is existing. In my point of view, there are many points of view, but for me, it's Satanism that got black metal out there and made it such a great advanced music genre. So when I look into Satanism, I find these techniques of meditation.
Mm.
There was a site called Angel File, but I don't think it's not available anymore. They had like a lot of good explanations and all of the all of the wisdom, man. It's written over there for even I was like 16 then. I could a little bit understand them. What I could understand most and do best was those meditations, the breathing meditations. There are lots of varieties of meditations. But that's when I realized, whoa, so meditation. What about Buddha, Lord Buddha? So he's mainly about meditation. Even most of the statues he represent one symbol: meditate, right? Like that was the main key. So Satanism is giving out this, but still, then I was also looking for again. Is there something written about Buddhism in a way against Buddhism in any kind of Satanic writings? No, I could not find any at all. Yeah. So I feel like there's a mutual connection there that most people are not able to see because they won't look into Satanism, because when someone says it's bad, right? But you say it's coming from Buddha, they kind of look into it, right? Maybe not all of them, but still they would not understand until they meditate. Text of I was not ever going to think that Buddhist philosophy was going to be a part of my uh,
Right.
band of music or anything, but it just became so necessary. As I'm a Buddhist myself from childhood, the worship was there, and I felt like, oh yeah, I had these wishes as a child, you know, yeah, not much, just for that Xbox 360. you know, uh, I just childish thoughts. Okay, I have asked many things from Jesus. Just ask him, so they give. That's what they say, right? They give you. So Jesus, God never gave me the two things I asked for. From Buddha, it was just an Xbox 360 and let me play all the latest games that are coming out. So make it, if you can, please make it happen. So it didn't happen, but years go by, like maybe 5 years, but it happened, right? I got it now. I got what I asked for. That means this presence is yeah, it's alive. That force, that the spirit is present. It's not
Right.
absent, and it's
Uh,
listening, and it's
I have a
yeah,
question. So,
yeah.
so I discovered Satanism also through my friends. So I lived in Sri Lanka before in Nigambo. So you know, Nigambo is a very Catholic Christian place. So all my friends were Catholic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I discovered that from a friend, and then we ordered the Satanic Bible from Amazon, and then we started reading it. Uh,
Oh,
one aspect of
awesome, man.
one
That is
aspect
pretty good.
aspect of Satanism that really got me interested and started following is I feel that it's a self what do you call that it it lets you take responsibility for
Self-realization.
yourself and for your actions, and you're the one responsible for your life. So you're not dependent on anybody else or any god or anybody. You do what you need to do for you yourself, uh, and you don't let other people take advantage of you. So that's what I feel, that's the pillars of Satanism for me. That's how I sort of incorporated that to my. I mean, I'm not literally believing
Oh,
in a in a Satan or devil, but I feel that that's what most important.
no,
That
yeah, yeah. Yeah, man, that's the thing. Satan is like it's a spirit, like even Buddha, it's a spirit, and it's just a force of nature that we are so much connected to. It's like it's
yeah.
in we got the pentagram, and you say fire, water, earth, yeah, and the spirit. So when you said there that we shouldn't depend on other, it's our own actions. Isn't that the same kind of things that Lord Buddha kind of left
Yes,
us with
yes,
in
yes.
his last sentences? Yeah.
I made that connection of to also after a long time, because originally I was so excited about Satanism or something so exciting, but and then we live. Then I realized, oh, we've been living the same. We've been taught that in our country already, right? That same sort of
Right.
thing with Buddhism.
We
So it's the same thing. It's just probably evolved in different places. That's it. But it's the same sort of underlying thoughts.
Hell yeah, man. I'm really honored to be with you in this, right? This is like the most best topic I've talking about in my life, because I think people should be like you, right? They don't understand. They mostly think it's maybe it's because of them hiding behind their actions. They pretend. Most people pretend. I mean, I also pretended. you know I'm also a human being, and I have also done bad choices in my life. But
Mm.
because of Satanism, I was able to come around it. I see what's going to happen to me, what are the consequences, and sometimes I just go with it to see if the consequences are real. So yeah, they are real. So
Right.
now, after Luciferianometh, this command of Lucifer's heart, I'm really kind of whole thing. It's all about you know it's all about just like this, connecting wisdom.
So
That's all we get.
right. So can we talk about your band? So you started this
Yeah,
band.
yeah,
Was it a solo project from the beginning, or
yeah,
it was start? So it's a solo project, right? So you started it as a
yeah,
Baphomet and Baphomet. I believe that was your first
yeah.
name.
It
So can you tell me about
yeah, it
how the
was.
idea came for the band, and then how did you progress?
Yeah, of course, man. The whole thing came up with in 2013. Uh, I wasn't capable of creating a song of my own, but when I got into black metal, now I know how to play these pinch harmonics, these all these techniques and all. And it was also very cheap guitar I had. So, but the practice was there, and now I'm able to play it. So now I want to create it. So I wonder how.
Mm.
Then I programmed this one dude. He's not a metalhead, but he shows me this way of drawing a drum map, right?
Mm.
So this way, I I still didn't know what I was drawing because I was just adding like uh, 2 plus 2 is 4 and 4 minus 2 is thoughts. But
Right.
it came out nice. I came up with 2 songs that were instrumental. I did not have any names for them. So because I really didn't know what to name them. I don't have any lyrics. I don't know how to do vocals. I went to this person, the same one who gave me this distortion and all. And it was really distortion of my life. That was not really good choices that I made those days as a teen even. So I tell him, hey man, I created these two. How do you feel about them? You probably are expert. You should know, right? Then he listens to them and he's like, yeah, it sounds like this band called Inquisition.
Mm.
Maybe I have been given that comment a lot. Maybe it's because from Inquisition albums, I could really understand the Satanism, the the whole deal about black metal, the whole hidden, the mystical experiences where you open up your mind, you get into astral journeys, and you
Mm.
start to lucid dreaming, get into trance states and all. Inquisition was the best because they had the clean chant vocals, so I could understand and go with it. But in that clean man, when you listen in with the trance state, you hear that really inside depth. So that was the beginning. Then I wanted to learn like the previous metal songs. So I wanted to cover Inquisition song. So this dude was like, like he was playing this power chords like very impossible at that time for me.
Mm.
But uh, the best thing was I had a Fernandez guitar. So Fernandez, that not a very good one, a very cheap and old model.
Mm.
It was a second-hand guitar. This model was kind of giving out the same kind of tone that his Fernand. I believe he has a Fernandez custom uh,
Right.
gear for himself, a guitar for himself made by the Fernandez company. It gives out that same kind of tone because maybe it's the same company of the guitar was produced, and the tuning I used was also the same because I wanted to cover his songs. I was on their tuning, so most people were like, "Oh, so this is like inclusion and all." But I was like, "Are you crazy? I'm not good like them, right? They are like pros, and I'm like this, just here. How can you say that? Maybe because the tuning, but I never went on to explain them because Inclusion was a really favorite band of mine. Of course, the influences must have been there. It is there. I mean, it's really a big part of me. And so this guy, he gives me that comment. Then he wants to, yeah. I gave him the word. Can we play this live as a drummer? So you say we are like Inclusion. So let's go like drummer and guitarist. Let's do
Mm.
that duo thing and see how it sounds. Then we met this guy who is a friend of his own past experiences as a musician. So I invite him to play bass because now we have the guitar. So we need a bass. We have that
Mm.
dude on the drummer, but send a little video or practice session. Never on guitar tabs or anything. At that, that's a big part of where I learned to play by the ear and get that power chords getting going really fast. So it was really awesome, but the drums were never, they are like really pros, right? And they are talented and advanced musicians, great evolved minds. At that age, we were not able to. I mean, the guitars was there, the vocals wasn't there at all. The meaning was not there at all. The drums were definitely not there at all. The bass. So he wanted to switch into another guitarist because he feels like that bass is like the the least least important instrument. Like for drummer you get three girlfriends. For a guitarist, you get four. For the vocalist, you get five. For the bassist, you get one, right? Those are just memes and all this shit. But the bass is really necessary, in this
Right.
kind of heavy playing. Uh, I never thought that bass was that important until this one guy called Senaka Badagoda, who was really, I can say, a friend. I was I won't say he's a mentor or teacher. He's just a friend, because I won't want the world to know that it's because of Senaka Badagora that this guy is playing like this and all. No, he just was amazed to see me play like that, and I was amazed to see him like that kind of music,
Mm.
depending on the music he does. So now he came in to give me this one lesson. Bass is important. Bass is important. You have to work it over that drums, and drums need to be in tempo. So those were not ever came out from the mouths of those two members. They never knew to
Mm.
play the drums on tempo. They never knew that bass was necessary. But I was young. They were mature. I always, in Buddhist, the way that the old all people just told me that you gotta respect your elders and all. Now I was strictly following this, but it's not the mature. It's not the age that matters. I found that out after all this. After getting rid
R-
of them and all, I
Right.
saw that maturity comes from the wisdom. So I was like, oh yeah, it's not the age, right?
Right.
So this drama drummer, he skips practices, and this bassist was want to be a guitar. So and the funny part is, he could not play those fast riffs because he has not practiced those patterns and all. He's a good guitarist, I would go about it, but he's really a good musician and all. He has the soul. Both of them has the soul and heart, and they can be good, but with the practice and the proper manners. Yeah. So the bass is, I mean, sorry, the guitarist, the other guitarist couldn't play those
Right.
riffs. So he wanted to change the tuning. I was like, what? No, it's a plan. This is the tuning we are gonna play in, because he want to play in drop, so he can just bar them
Mm.
instead of going in the power chords fast and like that. So now he comes in with being a vocalist as well. So I was like, okay, but there's a lot of things changing here, and I can't say anything because you guys are maybe expert than me. You know the whole deal more than me, so I'll start to see what happens. I'll see. I'll follow you, but it was always Baphomet had one main purpose, and it was all about the spirit and the
Right.
understanding
Right.
of that symbol itself, even, right?
So,
Because
so
none of,
this, yeah. So this, after this thing with the band and these members, and then you decided to do your own,
yeah,
go on and record the command of the
no,
Lucifer's heart,
yeah,
right?
no, no. Had a long way, brother.
Hmm.
This was in 2013, no? So
Right.
we had a gig in 2013 where that band lineup came in, and the drummer was not able to come to practices, and the guitarist was not able to make his voice heard at the gig, and the drummer was playing the double bass. Then suddenly the drum comes in front, like he's putting too much weight and all. He thinks is that thing is that it's the balance. So he doesn't have the balance. That was really not good for Baphomet, man. I was like really sad. But then I went in. I just played the guitars as best as I could, syncing with the way he's playing, and gave out the best vocals I could. That time, really, the vocals came out, and all of the sudden, this other guy who was also trying to do vocals, he thinks his voice is not getting heard, so he grabs my mic, and he he tries to do the vocals because he thinks his mic is not working. It's working perfectly. I could hear him very well, but this is his mind, right? that's really where they did not understand what black metal was. They
Right.
were just obsessed. They were just possessed with hate and all that high energy, which really is need to be balanced by meditation. I highly recommend, because it will really hurt bad if you go like that for a long time. Then all of a sudden that comes dropping in. So after that gig, it was like I was cool because I had the guitars playing and I heard the crowd, and I felt that energy, man. I felt the positive energy, but those two I don't know, but it's the same reason that they changed the tuning, they changed the songs. So I was like, so these guys are not to be uh, followed at all. They don't know. Then the drummer doesn't come to practices at all. He he does get paid sometimes, but he doesn't come to practices. Then this guitarist, he was very interested in drums. He is really good drummer, I can say that. So he jumps in the drums. Okay, I'll play drums. Then I was like, okay, sure, why not? Now I can go back to my tuning, right? So you just play the drums, I play in my tuning, I do that vocals as I want. So we then went. He was very nice. He came to practices at the same right times, and we were not very what do you say, wealthy, because I was a student at that time,
Mm.
and he was also doing a small job, and uh, we come from good families, but the families are not in the good type of situation those days, neither
Mm.
now. But you get the we practice. Then we played a show, another. So this time it was that drummer and me on vocals and guitars. So now I was not feeling okay with the time getting past,
Mm.
and he's not improving. He's still at that same blast, no rolls. And I was getting like, uh, you're getting it limited, brother. I always have respect for him, and I'm so, I never hurt anyone's feelings, man. That's really a bad thing to do. I highly recommend not to be defenseless. I was, as a teen, I was so defenseless because of being too kind. That's not good. That's weakness in me. It's now gone. It's really gone. So I was warning him. I was saying that you should improve, otherwise I would have to get rid of you, brother, because
Mm.
others are dying to play. Some drummers were loving to play to my riffs. They were like, how do you get this distortion tone, and what is your guitar? And they what is they thought it was the guitar and the amp. No,
Mm.
it was just me exploring that over the nights and nights, just you know turning those knobs and seeing how this feels like, seeing how that feels like, which actually gets rid of your girlfriend. You get you get no time to reply her in the nights at all, so you lose her now, all of that.
Right.
So lot of time and dedication and sacrifice have been put it into these tones and this music of mine. So now the tones I have and what I can go for in distortion is definitely need to be black metal. So it needed to be black metal, and I was still having the problem with the drummer. So there was a kind of a huge deal in his mentality, where he suddenly could not talk. See, this is the really awesome part, brother. He was blabbering against Lord Buddha. Okay, he was saying that he's the wacko, and he's crazy and all that. So this was like really a huge. He got guts to say those, but you know, I was like, "Are you sure he's wacko and all?" Then all of a sudden, this guy just could not speak. He could not respond. When we practiced, I was asking, "Do we need some water? Can we play it like this?" He couldn't speak, brother. That's where I learned. Whoa, that power, man. He was not doing it by himself. He was trying to speak. We all see it. Everyone was just haunted to see him like that. And I was like, really, I couldn't let him go. Even now, at a situation like this, he's really mentally ill. How can I tell him to go? Now, I again kept him for a long time. Then suddenly, the people we are around and we spend most time with really influence on us, right? Even though we don't speak, and when we play the music and all, we transmit these transmissions, this energy, this communication, right?
Right.
Now, it was really not good for me because uh, it started to hurt my body after practice. When he plays like a doom doom, like a tom solo or something like that, it just hurts my energy, man. Maybe it's his beliefs and all, because I don't think I'm that kind of person, and I want. Even though we are doing black metal, hell yeah, we are violent. Hell yeah, we understand violence. We talk about violence. We see violence, but we don't intend to do that. We just give it out in poetry. We are just poets, man. We look at nature and we just give it out, and we just meditate upon the symbols, and you know, it's like a huge spiritual journey. Not like you're gonna kill the other person who listens to pop music because he's a Christian, right?
Right.
Not like that. And that's not the way. And he's not meditating at all, and he thinks that he's this I'm not going to talk about this anymore, brother, because he's a really good drummer. He's a good guitarist, good musician, both of them, but maybe I'm not capable of keeping up with them, right? We'll say it like that.
Right.
My style is not their style, but my band is my band because I was the founding member. The uh, whole sacrifice was put there, brother, because uh, I have stayed in hunger. I have stayed in the same clothes just to buy the mics and the distortion pedals. They don't know that. They think that I get it everywhere from my family and all that. But no, I have sacrificed a lot, because when I was going like really thin, people were thinking like, oh, this guy's doing a huge load of drugs. No, I don't do a huge load of drugs at all. It was just me not depending on the food and all that, skipping sleep terms, and how this will outcome, and what will my mother be thinking at this moment when she hears these kind of music, and my family relations, they were like really thinking I'm crazy. He's doing something crazy. Probably would have left me in a mental hospital if I wouldn't have gotten 21 and 18. Finally, I was an adult, so nobody could harm me at all. So
Right.
it happened, and Baphomet came in when I Baphomet was that. Baphomet came in when I wanted to go solo and play the drums by myself,
Right.
which I could not. I was not capable of that, handling all that. I was capable of composing, thinking, writing about that, writing the drum patterns, drum and arrangements, all that. But I could not play at that high energy, maybe because my body is not capable of such a way.
Mm.
But in Luciferianometh, the demo, where we come in summoning the bloodline of Canonas, I played the drums and all the things were played, but the studio I was playing on really took a huge lot of money from me, and they were using rather illegal DAW softwares, illegal VST plugins, which I really didn't know that those stuff affect a mix master or a record. They really do affect, because
Mm.
when you play in the studio, you did it right, you did it great, man. When you go home and hear that recording, what? Why so low here? Am I fooling myself? I was so troubled by myself because of that simple situation. They use illegal softwares that reduce the overall quality and overall data, the, da- the data that you detect from when you take it out from their machine to another device. It
Mm.
just loses the quality, and once you upload it in the internet, I guess it just reduces bit by bit. I don't know,
Right.
because uh, it's real, right? You can't take it like that. You have to pay for it. These are hard work, right? They must have worked like days and endless sleepless nights to make those products finalized. These are the products that give gave us those good music, and these are the products that will be helping us do our own music, right?
Mm.
So
Right.
we should not steal it like that. We have to pay for it, man. And so I was so into this because I never wanted that kind of, like, it's stealing. it's
Yeah.
it's quite frankly nothing but it's stealing, brother. Even though so now I don't have any copyrighted, copied melodies at all, not at all. But if I have a software used to record a stolen one, a non-licensed, that's stealing. So those affected those first two albums, Sounding the Bloodline of Canonas and Ciutas. Ciutas was the same album.
Mm.
Because of those quality reduced and all, I wanted to do it again. I didn't do the drums because the drums were okay at that time, but I did the guitars again and again, which also cost me like a hell lot of money, which my mother loses faith in me. Why is he doing? And why isn't this working out? You don't even get a review for those music. But somehow I get this guy from USA, Hank, who is also a musician himself, for Stella and Halo Cruz, from the Canadian label Mary Jude Smart Records. It's really a nice solo project, black metal. He drew me a logo. So a logo was always a problem for me.
Mm.
He, out of his love and out of his respect, he drew me a cool logo for Luciferianometh. That really turned me on, just gave me that motivation. And this lady from Canada, Mary. So these were the two first international fans that I had. That really motivated my spirit to do more. Then I was thinking, what should I do? Yeah, okay, I should buy the DOS softwares, the VST plugins, take all of the knowledge that I had over these years in mixing, mastering, as I know in. And about the drumming, I got contact with international session drummer,
Mm.
whose price was really cool. They don't do it for free, right? It's a job. It's a hard working job, and I totally respect this and respect that. But I was thinking maybe he's too far away. This would lead to some problems in the future. So I was thinking, then all of a sudden this comes in. How did I start? I used that downloaded Easy Drummer 1, I guess, from Tune Track. Now, this was the first drum track I used from there, but that was also an illegal download one. So I needed to buy Easy Drummer properly and get the license and their permission. Then I started to finally get that big luck, like you get the Black Friday deals. All of the sudden, this November is this metal month and all. I was like, wow, what a great timing. At that time, I had some budget and I used it on buying that Reaper DAW software, some Waves plugins, which are really cool. It's like you have a whole digital I mean, you have the whole Abbey Road Studios in your laptop because it's the new age, right?
Right.
It's
Right.
technology developed, and it's time to take use of it, I thought. So the drummer, I used Easy Drummer with buying some what do you call them, MIDI, yeah. I bought
So putting out the with all that
Ash Pearson. He is
yeah.
also a great drummer and really a famous man.
So Eligo, so with all this, you put out the command of Lucifer's heart. So how is the response to
Yeah.
that album? How is the feedback from what? Can you tell me about the response you got for that album?
Whoa, I mean, like, this is my first ever interview, man. So this is really great. I mean, there are certain things we have to. I never knew about those before doing this album. I'm glad I got in contact with this great metalhead. Also, musician himself. Go to the. He's a solo death metal band. It's called Brutal Death Fuck, and I did a little remaster for him. Just as a token of appreciation. He does
Right.
this metal radio, 24/7, brother. Metal radio, Metal Devastation radio. They do this promos, okay? So they have spent their years of hard work and searching, getting some good contacts, the reviewers, the labels, and the sponsors, and all that. So all of this they have, and they can reach it, but not the new artists. They can't reach it like that. They need to have to be promoted. It
Mm.
has to be coming out from a, a proper way, and it's a way of showing that I do anything for my band, right? Otherwise, it cost me like I think $80, and it was like 3 week promo where he gives a free MP3 download of the full album and gives out all the information about this album and about the band. And this gets sent to all around the world, to many magazines and all that. Then I'm so thankful for him, because he still haven't taken it out. He's still doing the promo, because he, the response was really amazing, and he was really amazed, because it was like radio channels playing it and having it in their rock charts. Spotify playlist. I'm so sad to say that Sri Lankan doesn't still have Spotify, so I can't even claim my Spotify account yet. So
Right.
that's a shame. But at least it's getting played on their playlist. I see the image and the link. And this review, of course, from you, my brother, from your blog Channa Channa Channa. So that was really great. There was three vans. I loved it. I loved the way you wrote those. I suddenly felt that this was the first interview I should do. I mean, I had one scheduled on February 14th.
Right.
I knew that that was not a place to do my first, because they wouldn't be talking it like this. I mean, out of all the respect, maybe they would have, but I want to be this the first, because I see that you got it. You got that connection. I mean, see how we are talking, right? We understand same feeling in Black Man, in Satan, and Buddha. It's all in us and blood, man. And so then you get this review from Occult Black Sign. That's also a blog which has a large audience. So this review suddenly got my SoundCloud plays to rise bit one by one to 12,228.
Right.
Just a few hours after the review was done. I was like, what? I was just looking at the screen and it's just rising. Then I was wondering, why is there something wrong? Then I got, it's the review. All right, man. I'm so thankful for that review. And he really did a right a great one, just like you, my brother. And the other one, I can't remember his name. So there are reviews getting written like from 3 days to 2 days. I get to see a new review because I'm searching how it's going on and the feedback is happening, and it's really going great around the world. But in Sri Lanka, I guess I'm not going to just send them the Facebook link. Hey, would you do click a like on this? And I did send to like few people who
Mm.
were fans of Baphomet releases. They really said, "Do it, brother." Now there are actually people who love black metal, and there are really good people who you know kind of enjoys that music as a music.
Right.
Fans, right? Not as a piece of weapon or anything like that. So uh, on my Facebook, I could say this proudly, only 20 likes. So it has been like today's 21st, right? So CD Baby was the distributor that distributed the Command of Lucifer's Heart. It was my release date stated was December 15th, because that's the day it was finished.
Mm.
And I think December 21st was from 2 months now. Yeah. So two
Right.
months now, 20 likes, right? 20 likes on Facebook, but SoundCloud plays 12,228, right? I guess it's good, right?
Yeah.
Maybe now that we have this interview. So these are the ways that we get recognized, brother. You have to make that name for yourself. I really did not understand this in the past. All thanks to Zach, who really gave me that, that wisdom, and it's really, really helpful. I really like to thank him, Ben, and you, and all the reviewers, and everyone who just listened to it. And but the crazy part is The Command of Lucifer's Heart is, for me, is the original official first demo. It's in
Right.
so much low production. I mean, like, I never had mic stands or anything. It was just boxes and this mic. This is what I'm speaking on with
Right.
no XLR cable at that moment, just a normal old school cable. And I had the great amp, a slinger amp. So I did not focus much on the mix master because I was not experienced with the new software and all the new plugins. So I started my working way through it. Then I understood, oh man,
So
there's more to be done to this album.
right.
So then went on with just getting in contact with another friend. Actually, he's not. I cannot say he's not a metalhead. He is a metalhead. He's pure in pagan heart, and he's full of a warrior and all. He has always been a good friend, which I have rejected because of others, others saying he's not a metalhead and all. There's that horrible thing in Sri Lanka, brother. Whenever some new metalhead shares a black metal, so sharing an album is promoting the band, right?
Mm.
Supporting the band. If you share a YouTube link to another band, you share it in your Facebook. That's a way of promoting that band. That's support for the band.
Right.
These people, the ones who say they are metalheads, are saying, "Hey, don't you share that? You don't know it's really underground. You shouldn't share that. You don't listen to metal. What the fuck,
Mhm.
right?"
Right. Right. I see that because I've been listening to, I went to my first concert in when into year 2000, and then I've been going to concerts for 20 years, all different
Oh,
genres of
awesome, man.
metal and rock, and I've seen so many bands. So one thing that
That's the real true
the real
spirit,
metal, I think the real
man.
metalheads is should actually appreciate other music, and also they should give a chance to the new bands. They should check out the new bands,
Of
because
course, man.
we cannot just live
Of
in the
course.
past, because I see with the metalheads, they just listen to the
Mm.
same 10 songs that they've been listening for the
Mm.
last 10 years. I think everyone is just listening to the same 10 songs. So I don't think
Yeah,
it's the
that's
right
also
way.
wrong. Yeah,
I mean,
it's not the right way at all, brother.
yeah, because there's so
You're
much,
right.
you're just losing. You're personally losing, because you're not discovering, because it's so easy to look for new music. If you go to YouTube,
Yeah.
how many metal bands can you can see so many metal bands, so many amazing. But that's actually one of the reasons I'm doing this podcast, because I keep on discovering new bands and new artists, and sometimes they might only have
Very lucky, brother.
one song, but that song might can be a very amazing song. So brother, so lastly, because
Yeah,
we
of
have to
course.
end this discussion, so
Yeah,
tell
please,
everyone
brother.
what's your message to everyone, and then tell everyone how they can listen to your music and follow you.
All right. Here's the thing. They could probably find the the SoundCloud profile. You just tap in SoundCloud and just hit a space there and type in Luciferianometh. Then you get that SoundCloud profile where you can find us on Bandcamp also. You just also, I can't remember the link because if I said it, you won't write it down. Because
Right.
just go to Google and state the name of the band Luciferianometh. That's Luciferianometh space SoundCloud or Bandcamp. That's where you get the highest quality streaming. Because
Mhm.
in YouTube, please do check out the lyric video. There is one lyric video, but it's not in that higher quality, but it's good. You know, maybe people could enjoy it. There is another there's a re-recording happening, and the drums are getting finally a guy who is really really talented in martial arts. He do these flips and all, 360 flips. I don't know how the fuck he does that, but it's a point that amazed me. Wow, gravitation, right? He's just in control of gravitation. That could be used in playing that those double bass, floating double bass. he
mm,
could just rock it, and he really surprised. it's it's all about the black magic. And that's black metal. We all talk about black magic, Satanism, and Buddhism, and he comes from a part that is that will be not welcomed by most of the society because of and poor life, maybe can say.
mm.
People judge by the looks and the houses. So that's why I want to do this. I want to show that it's in your face, motherfuckers, that not it's not the house you live in, it's not the clothes, it's not the perfume you buy even, it's not that phone you have in your hand. It's that heart, and it's that your soul, it's that those actions you do, and they are coming after you. Really, really, they are coming. And this guy, I wanted to give him a chance, and he really did surprise me because everyone was taking a fool out of him, and he made it to from his side, break dance concerts. And yeah, there's this TV channel called Derana. There's a I really did not watch into it, but I'm so happy that he came in third place in City of Dance or something like that. Now that's good, that's talent, and he has conquered from where he's coming. Now I gave him a challenge. Can you be the drummer and prove everyone that black metal, what black metal is, what kind of beauty it has, how positive it is. And we are set on a record label which will be announcing very soon, that is from German.
Mm.
And there are some two, yeah, I can say certain two major labels. I wouldn't speak of them yet because not yet signed up, but the word is in. I just need to send in the copies. We are waiting till this new one is out perfectly. And this guy is going to be playing drums. And in 2022, there's going to be maybe, this corona and pandemic, it's all going to end, it's got to end, right?
Right.
uh, we are definitely going to be playing live, at least in Sri Lanka, at least 2 months, maybe up.
So I think we lost Eligo. Uh, yeah, so you got
All right, brother.
disconnected.
I guess there was a problem in my connection. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
Um, yeah.
Yeah,
So
maybe it's because was I mentioning something?
it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, you
So
heard it, right?
yeah. So fine. So
All right.
Eligo. So I just want to say thank you for joining this podcast, and I really,
You.
I mean, I'm really happy that someone from Sri Lanka is doing this type of music, and you have the courage to put it out, and that's why I decided to write that article and include you with the other
Really
bands,
awesome.
and so thanks for doing this, and then I'm looking forward to what you're putting out. So keep safe and stay metals.
All right, brother. Yes. All right.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you for this great opportunity, man. It's a dream come true.
Thank
Yes.